right, first up, we got a T. Higgins short print, I think out of 50. All right, so like usual, I look at the centering first. Top to bottom's perfect, but left to right is off a bit. Thinner on the left than the right. You can see it when you flip it. It's looking like 65-35 to me. So I think you're in a mint 9 range to start with. You've got some kind of refractor lines, but it's normal to this card. They all have them, so you won't get knocked. Surface is nice and clean. I don't even see any debris or anything. I do see one dimple. Dimples are hard to see on this kind of disco effect, but it's right there. See it? But you're still in a mint 9 range. Then you got dimples right here. And let's see. You got some debris in the bottom. You got a few nicks right here, there and there, but not bad. Nothing crazy. You're still in that 9 range. The corners are a little soft, not as crisp, but kind of like prism corners. Back centering's there. A little thinner on the left and the right, but not bad. Yeah, I'm making sure I didn't miss anything crazy, but I think that's just a solid 9. Solid 9 copy. Might even be an SGC 9.5, but I think it's a 9. Okay. All right, next up we got an Anthony Edwards. Draft pick silver. Okay. Got some debris. We got some smudges on the bottom that I'll wipe off. Should wipe off right there. Oh yeah, came off nice and clean. Okay, let's look at the centering. The centering's 50-50. It's beautiful. Corners are nice and sharp and clean. You got a little excess cardboard up here. Just gently get it off. Perfect. No surface dimples or anything. This is a card that pretty much needs to be a 10 to grade. So the back corners are there. You got a little edge mark right here, but nothing major. Very light surface scratch. It kind of extends. There, you see it? Like a double. Boom, boom. Slightly worried about that. Because it actually goes through like that through the card. I think that's enough to bring it down to a 9 for PSA. But I'm still at like a 9.5. Somewhere in between a 9 and a 10. Corners are pretty much nice and sharp. This white is just excess, so I'm not worried about that. No weird indents or little dimples or anything, so back centering's there. Yeah, my only concern is those like 2 scratches that go across. If they didn't extend all the way, I wouldn't worry about it, but I think PSA gets you down to a 9. I'm at a 9.5 though. I think SGC's a 9.5 too. If not a 10. All right, we got a Nas Reed. This is a good card to have during the playoffs. What a run he had. All right, let's first look at the centering. Left to right's perfect. Top to bottom's nice too. Centering's near perfect. I'm already looking at the surface. I'm concerned about a line right here. It starts with this little mark and extends pretty deep through his butt right there. Other than that, the corners are so sharp. A little bit of debris. I just see a little surface mark right here. Not much at all. Corners are there. Edges are there. Let's flip over to the back. That's a good sign when it has white corners and edges. Corners are good. The edges are alright, but I'm concerned about this dimple right here. It's pretty noticeable. Got some roller lines, but that's okay. That's just part of it. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we're at a 9. The auto grade, I wouldn't get the auto grade graded. It looked like, making sure I didn't miss anything. It looked like an 8, an auto of an 8. It's almost like a little smudge in the middle here, a little thinner right in here. But what's nice about SGC, if you grade with them, is if the auto grade's below a 10, they won't even put it on the slab, which is nice. They'll only put a 10 on the slab, unless you ask them to do lower, I think. But okay, I think this is a solid 9 copy with an 8 or 9 auto. I'll probably put a 9 auto there. Okay. All right, we got a Reggie Miller metal. This is the kind of like green emerald parallel, isn't it? These are cool cards. Okay. I'm looking at the corners. I'm worried about this corner. Touch of white. Nothing on that top left. A touch of white on the bottom left. Not bad. But I'm just a little concerned with that top. Yeah. In the loop, you can really see a little white. The surface is nice and solid, and the edges are clean. The centering is pretty good too. Maybe a little bit thinner on the left than the right. Top to bottom's perfect. This isn't a card I would risk grading. You got some white showing on this corner, little edge white, and a little bit of white on that corner too. Other than that, that's a little bit of wear on this corner too. Just a little bit needs wiped off, but okay. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I think I'm gonna put you at a 9, but I honestly think PSA might give you an 8 on this. I think they're gonna really hammer that. But I think the other companies are at a 9 on this card. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we got a Marshawn Lloyd. I actually don't know much about him. We gotta refresh on the new players. Okay, 1 out of 10. Nice numbering. I'm looking at the corners, and the corners are sharp. The centering's just perfect. Left to right, perfect. Top to bottom, perfect. Surface, it's got those normal kind of refractor pattern lines, but that's totally normal. Not one surface scratch. I don't see much debris or anything. Don't even need, yeah, I don't even see much at all. No weird indents. Let's look at the back. Yeah, the back's solid. Just a little smudging on the top, but wipe right off. Okay, just a touch of white on the top 2 corners, just very touch. Some slight surface scratches right here. I still think overall it's a I saw it, dang it. Right there, it's a pretty big pocket dimple, kind of near the M. So I think that's gonna bring you down to a PSA 9, but I'm gonna still keep you at a 9.5. Definitely not 10. And I think SGC will be kind of a 9.5 just because of the overall eye appeal of this card, and there's nothing out there major flaw other than that. I mean, it's just a factory dimple, so yeah, I'm gonna put you at a 9.5. But yeah, if you don't expect a PSA 10 with that mark right there. Okay. All right, we got a Chris Johnson. What are these numbered to? Kind of like gold ice. All right, I'm looking at the corners. The centering corners are perfect. Centering is there. Surface has some debris. That came off. That came off too. Nice. Perfect. It all came off. I like to see that. So now you're looking at a 10 so far. All right, let's flip it over, see what we got. It is numbered at a 50. Ooh, back is clean. I don't see any weird dimples. Yay. That corner's pretty good. I was gonna say slight touch of white, but no, that's all right. And this one I was gonna say slight touch, but nope, it's not too bad. The loop is good for looking at, you know, the severity of corner wear. That's kind of the only time I really use the loop. Making sure I didn't miss anything because I think this is your first 10 so far. Yeah, I'm confident in this. I didn't miss anything. Okay, I think you're at a 10 on the Chris Johnson. All right, got a Jacob. What is his last name? Cowing. Okay, let's first look at the centering. Left to right's there. Top to bottom's there too. I see still more debris. Easily comes off. Refractor lines, but that's normal to this card. It doesn't have an abnormal one. Very, very slight scratch through right there. It's still within 10 range, don't worry. And the auto's a clear 10, very clear. It does have, I hate when this happens, debris that got stuck under the auto. You see that right there? It's still pretty minor. I don't think they're gonna knock you for that, but if they do, it's because of that. I still think if this card has a flawless back, it's still a 10. But yeah, okay. All right, so the back centering's there. The top two corners are still 10 worthy, but I'm really concerned about these bottom two corners. It's pretty noticeable white on bottom left and a little bit of uplifting on this bottom right too. I'm gonna take the look at through the loop a little bit. Yeah, just wear, and then this one more wear. I'm a little more concerned about that one. So I think you're kind of at a PSA 9. I'm still at like a 9. Edge ding. See that right there? I think I'm at a 9 now too. All these little things just kind of add up, but that ding's a little more noticeable. I can try to smooth it, but slightly better. See, make sure I didn't miss anything major, but I think I'm at a 9. Yeah. Okay. All right, we got T. Higgins Select. Rookie die cut. All right, I'm looking at the centering. The centering's there. Corners are there too. Surface is great. I only see a slight dimple right there, but nothing, no surface scratches. Very clean card. I'm hoping the back's nice. I'm pulling for a 10 here. Dang it. Oh, these selects are brutal. People often miss them, but the corner is a big ding to it. Top right, there's a ding. But what's worse, I think, is this factory indent. Vertical all the way kind of through. And they will knock you down for that. And then you have actually one kind of deeper one to the middle of this one. It almost makes just a addition sign. Across, yeah, the back is just gonna get you on this card, unfortunately. I think it's a PSA 8. I'm at an 8.5. I think SGC is probably an 8.5 too. Yeah, the back, I hate back flaws. It's just the worst. I'm sorry, man. I really want to get you a 10 on this one. So yeah, I don't think this card's gradable. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anything else. Now that I see it, you can see that ding, just a little bit of a bend. You see that on the front even? So that's what it is. All right, I think it's an 8.5. All right, next up we got a Juan Soto. Let's see what we got. All right, centering is almost perfect. A little thinner on the right than the left, but I mean, it's 55-45. I see some debris, normal debris. Comes right off. That one's stuck a little bit. Okay, there we go. So usually there's a ton of kind of factory roller marks on these cards, but it looks pretty good. I only see one down through here. Nothing too major. These two marks didn't come off with the microfiber, but it does still look like debris. Maybe this left one is a little dimple, but this one I would just take a wet microfiber, a damp, and then just kind of rub it off with a dry, but it's just not coming off with the dry one. I think you're still within a 10 range. The overall eye appeal is great. Just slight roller marks over here, but really, I think if the back's perfect, then you're okay. Which I think it is. Just got some debris. Must be normal to the card, that mark right there. Jeez, there we go. Some of the debris is really stuck on here. You have a little excess right here. There we go. Looking good. Corners are nice. The centering's, back centering's there. You got some light wear right around here. A little edge nick here. It's close. I'm gonna put you at a 9.5. This is a true in-between card between a 9 and a 10 for PSA. It really could go either way. Yeah, a little wear, roller marks right here too. I think all these little things kind of add up to PSA giving it a 9, but I think I'm at like a 9.5. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anything major. Yeah, I think we're good at a 9.5. All right, next up we have a cool looking gold Patrick Mahomes. All right, so left to right centering is very nice. Top to bottom is thicker on the top than the bottom, but you're still within gem 10 range if everything else is perfect. I would say 60-40 actually, top to bottom. But I'm looking at perfect. Looking at the surface and I don't see anything weird dimples or anything. I'm looking at the corners, they look good. So far everything's on par with a 10. Okay, let's flip over. Gotta like the white edges and corners. Some very minor edge nicks. Corners are sharp. The centering's near perfect. The corners, everything. No surface dimples. That's nice. One very tiny one below the R in Prism, but very minor. I'm gonna put this one at a 10. Centering's not perfect on the front, but everything else is flawless and very nice eye appeal. I think it squeaks in a PSA 10. Yeah. I didn't miss anything. Okay. Alright, we got a Peyton Manning Finest Moments. You know, I haven't seen these cards before, surprisingly. I couldn't even tell you what year it is, weirdly. 2005. Okay. Look at the centering. We're going to look between that border to that border. And it looks like a little thinner on the left than the right. Top to bottom looks maybe thicker on the top than the bottom. Corners are there. The surface, I see some roller marks through here, but nothing major. But I saw something on the back that concerned me when I flipped it over. All right, let's go ahead and, yeah, you can really see it with the numbering too, or with the lettering. It's thinner on the left and the right. But, I mean, look at all this. The white is really gonna hurt, unfortunately. That looks like you can kind of fold it back where it should be. Just gently. I would work with it a little bit. It's already getting better. See what I'm doing? Yeah, look at that. Perfect. It's just very gently. I've been doing this for years and years. So a lot better than the white, right? Okay. A little bit of white here you could probably do it with. Yeah, it's already getting better. Still, I think I'm at a 9. I'm worried PSA might still give an 8 because of those corners, but it's close. All right, back centering's there. No surface dimples or indents or anything like that. Okay, honestly, I think it's like an 8.5 for PSA. But I'm going to put it at 9. All right. All right, next up we have another Finest Moments. This one looks even worse top to bottom. Now that I know the centering even more. And left to right, it's even worse. So centering, do you see that? Look how thick it is top to bottom. Compare it to the other one. Yeah, and left to right's way off too. So I think you're already at like an 8 range, and you have some roller marks. These cards are probably tough, and they are older, 2005. Corners are nice and sharp. No weave dimples. Let's flip it. You have that same corner wear on all the corners again, but the centering is worse than the corners, so you're already down the grades for that. Again, if you want, try my method of just using your fingernails to gently kind of pry up those white corners. Yeah, no weird dimples. I think you're at an 8 on this card just because of the centering. You got a little bit of wear over here. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing more, nothing less than 8, I'd say. Okay. All right, the final Finest Moments Peyton. Centering looks better on this one. See that right away? Oh, and no roller marks. This is the card. Centering's perfect. And just the surface is amazing for this old of a card. Corners are sharp, edges are there. I'm just worried about the back corners. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. I think I can help you with that one corner again. So is this one. Just gently. Yeah, look at that. Boom. That one's a little trickier, but not bad. You got the major one. I got the major one for you. I like this card a lot. I think you're at a 9.5. If the grader at PSA knows the set, how condition sensitive it is, they might. Well, look at that centering on the back. That's funny because the front's perfect. Thicker on the right than the left. So I think PSA will give it a 9. I'm at a 9.5 on this card. Out of the 3, this is the one to grade. No weird marks, indents, edges are nice. So just that normal corner wear, but the front, I love the front on this card. A little bit of excess right here. Okay, all right. I think I'm comfortable at 9.5. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, we're good. All right, next up we have the Brock Purdy. This is kind of the pink parallel. These cards you could get in the Chronicles. I'm already worried about that bottom left corner. Okay, centering is there. This corner's nice, but you always get touches of white on these cards, even out of the pack. So touch of white top left, and big touch bottom left, and a nick right here. That corner's fine because it's not dark. The back's always pretty good. Yeah, the back, everything's fine except for the centering. Thinner on the right than the left, but that's not going to bring you down further than it's that I'm really worried about. It's kind of like an 8.5 for PSA. I think it's a little too much for me too to even put a 9 on this. It's just too glaring, especially in combination with that nick, these two together. And then the back centering. So make sure I didn't miss anything. Creases or indents. Yeah, I think we're at an 8.5. Unfortunately, on the Brock Purdy. Okay. Next up, Jonathan Taylor. I actually think he's going to have a really good year this year. He's healthy. I hope he plays well for you. Okay, left to right centering is perfect. Top to bottom, thinner on the top than the bottom, but I think you're 60-40, so if everything else checks out. First I thought that was a dent, but that's just the the photo. No debris. It looks solid. No surface marks or anything. No weird prism for refractor lines. Looks great, so let's hope the back's there. Yeah, at first glance the back's there, so that's good. All right. Yeah, just top to bottom, off center a little bit. You got nice, pretty sharp corners. I'm just gonna look right here. Yeah, slight white on this bottom left, but not bad. No weird indents. I think this is a 10. Even with that centering. I find that PSA is a little more forgiving when the top is thinner than the bottom, as opposed to the bottom thinner. Okay, I like this as a 10. Okay, next up we have a CJ Abrams. Okay, so centering is there. Looking at these gaps compared to the RC gap, it's nice. We got some debris up top. Should wipe off right away. Yeah, mostly. Okay, more debris on the bottom. There's so much surface area that could go wrong on this card. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Just have like normal little marks right here. Might come off with a damp microfiber and then a dry. But no major roller marks or anything like that, which is nice. No surface scratches. Nice, clean, bold 10 autograph. Let's flip it over. Just some debris up top. Again. I think that will come off with a little bit of damp microfiber and dry. I might try getting it off for you. Just debris on the bottom. The heck. Same with that. It's really kind of stuck on. I might try to get that off for you, because I think it's a 10 card without those 2 marks. It's just debris. It's just like stuck on. It needs to be slightly damp. You got one little dimple over here, but nothing major. Yeah, because the corners are there and the centering's there. I think this is a 10 card. If we can get those things off, okay? You will know whether I did with the grade I give you when you get it back. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I think we're good. Okay. All right, we got an Ohtani. It's already wanting to come out. Okay. So, ooh, very nice corners on this card. A little touch of white actually on this top right, but not bad. I imagine these corners always get beat up. And the edges are good too. Surface is there. No weird little dimples or pockets. I'm a little worried about this corner right here. PSA's been really hammering the back corners. Even if there's like a touch, it moves it to a 9, which is annoying. But you're close. I'm going to put you at a 9.5. It could get a PSA 10, but I'm thinking a 9 just because of that wear. I'll look at that just a little bit closer. Yeah, it's there. But other than that, it's not bad at all. A little bit of lifting a little bit to that left corner, bottom left. Nice card overall. Tried to wipe some debris and added a few more debris. There we go. Okay. It's close. I'm going to put it at a 9.5 though. So either a 9 or a 10 for PSA. And next up we got Aaron Judge. Man, he caught fire. It's nice to see. Imagine if he didn't start off so slow this year. He'd have like 30 home runs by now. Ooh. It's never good when you hear me say that right away, right? It's this pretty deep 2 surface scratches, but then I got to this corner and it's bothering me. It's almost like wear and then an indent a little bit. So, see the white too. These corners aren't bad. Touch of white on this bottom left corner too. But unfortunately, it's just can't overcome that. Even if all of their aspects are nice, you're already at an 8. The back does have some faint surface scratches. One right here you can see. And then touch of white on that corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. So all the corners have touches of white on the back. But nothing major, so there's nothing major wrong with this card. I just think it's a solid 8 copy. It's probably not worth the grade. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Look at that one corner just a little bit more. Yeah, well, you can really see it. Okay. We have a Royce Lewis. Okay, let's see what we got. So left to right centering is there, top to bottom. I would say it's kind of like that Jonathan Taylor. It's 60-40 top to bottom. So thinner on the top than the bottom. Just some debris I'm trying to get. Okay. Surface is pretty solid. Don't see anything wrong. Indents and corners are pretty good. I thought I saw some wear on this bottom right, but I don't think so. And I thought I saw some on the top right, but yeah, it's not bad. It really isn't. So, okay. The back's solid too. It's nice seeing all this white. So, corners are there. Back centering's there. I don't know. I see some minor indents near the Tops logo, but not much. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything, but I think you got a 10. It's almost exactly like that Jonathan Taylor, just the centering, but everything else looks great. So yeah, I think I'm okay giving this a 10. If you do get a 9 from PSA, it's the centering, but I still think it's within their range, at least. Okay. All right, next up we have a 2009 Platinum Stafford. These ones are tough. I don't have high hopes yet, but let's hope. Okay. It's a thicker card, kind of foil. Just a lot can go wrong. They always have to get little nicks too to the surface. So centering a little off top to bottom. A little thinner on the top than the bottom. Corners aren't too bad. There's uplifting. Kind of see a little wear. Same. I mean, that's even though it's just kind of the cut, but the top corners are nice actually. I am seeing a little surface indent right here. Nothing major. But I'm most concerned about this bottom left corner. Left to right center is nice. Overall, I think you're at like a 9. Let's see what the back you got going on. Oh, the back's not bad. It's not bad at all. For a condition-sensitive card, it's nice. This is a nice, solid 9 copy. Nothing more, nothing less. No weird indents. This back centering is pretty solid. Yeah, I don't know. Unless I'm missing something, I think this is a 9. You got just I would say a surface scratch. Just looks like a roller mark to me. Just a little debris on the edges. Alright. Yeah, I think you're at a 9. Okay. Let's keep going. Alright, we got a T. Higgins. Beautiful card. Okay. Let's see what we got. The auto is close, but I'm going to give it a 10. It's pretty bold. I'm looking at the centering. The centering's near perfect. I would say slightly thinner on the top than the bottom. Left to right looks perfect. I think you're there on the centering. I'm worried about this line right here. Don't think that's part of the normal kind of X-Factor pattern. So that worries me. But it's not that thick of a line. Let's see what what we got going on. Oh, this is close. Oh man. Either way, I say you grade this card because it's a high value card, you know. Back centering's great, top to bottom off a little bit. Corners are there, edges are there. Just a factory kind of roller marker line right there, but it's a gorgeous card. So now it's just debating what that line will bring you down to. I'm going to put you at 9.5 because of that line, but PSA might knock you to a 9. I'm thinking they will. But I think SGC will be like me, a 9.5. And I think Beckett might be a 9.5 too. So it's kind of where I'm at. Either way, like I said, you get this graded. Because you do have a shot at a PSA 10. You really do. Depends if the grader is hating that line or not. Okay. Beautiful card. You should definitely get this graded. All right, we got a graded slab to grade. I don't mind grading slabs. Just know that I can't fully get the surface correct, but I'll definitely take a look and tell you what I think other companies would give it. So centering, they say 8.5, which I get. I still think you're in a 9 range. I don't think you're in a 10 range, so I wouldn't crack it open to get a PSA 10. You can really see how thin it is when you flip it horizontal right to the top. So I still think the corners are nice and sharp. The edges are there, so they're correct about that. Corners are nice. I don't even see any prism lifting corners. I don't see any indents or anything, so this is just if you want. It's a good crossover candidate. Don't use the crossover service ever. Just crack it out by yourself. Meaning, I just mean that I think it wouldn't get any lower with a PSA. If you're wanting to send a PSA, I think it'd be a 9. So it's just a straight shot. I probably would just keep it in the slab. I think the centering is just too much. So, but I think it's just a PSA 9. Possibly SGC 9.5, but the value difference isn't worth the grading fee. So yeah, I think you just keep it as is. Nice card. Whoa, you see the labels off a little bit. Got it. You're back in business. Okay. Final card is another slab. Actually feels like the thicker case, the newer case. All right, let's grade it. Ooh, it's nice. I'm looking at the centering. Centering slightly off top to bottom, but it looks 55-45 to me. And left to right still looks 55-45 to me there too. Thinner on the left than the right. Thinner on the bottom than the top, but so close. I've seen burrows with the centering get 10s easily, so ooh, it looks nice. This might be a good candidate. Depends on these back corners, if that's maybe why they knocked you down, but oh my goodness. So I think, all right, I don't see any indents or anything. The back centering's there. It's so close between a 9 and a 10. The bottom two corners are okay. I think this is where they got you, if I had to say. Touch of white and a little bit of excess right here. If you could maybe eliminate the excess, just kind of wipe it off, then that would help take your eye away from that ding right there. I wouldn't even call it ding. It's just a touch and barely any. So I think this is a good candidate for a crack out. It's worth the extra shot, in my opinion, because the front is just perfect almost. So yeah, I can see you cracking out and give this one more shot. I'm gonna put it at a 9.5. I think an SGC might give it a 10, and Beckett might give it a 9.5. All right. Thank you again.